I feel like my game's been evolving over the last 3-4 years anyway.
But we've stuck to what we're good at.
Yeah, you know, the past few days, past few weeks, I just couldn't wait for this game.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that stat, and I just want to keep improving on it every game.
He changed a couple of things in the second half, and I think was much better in possession.
And you know, all of a sudden it's 2-2, and you don't know quite what's happened.
I've chosen 9 British Premier League football stars, and I'm going to break down their accents and teach you the key pronunciation features, so that not only will you be able to identify their accents better, you'll also be able to understand them better. Guys, I just want to take a quick moment to thank our sponsor for this video, me. I'm the sponsor of this video. That's right, guys. I have just released my brand new British English pronunciation online course. My first ever online course. I am so excited to share it with you. That's right, it has just been released. It's a program that I've been working on for a year now. I've put my blood, sweat and tears into this program, and I know that you're going to love it. Now let's start with Liverpool star Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, it was an important one for us. You know, every game's important, but we've stuck to our game plan.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is from Liverpool and speaks with a Scouse accent. That's the accent of Liverpool. Now, this accent is very distinct, and there are many features that really tell you that someone is from the city of Liverpool. In this example, Trent Alexander-Arnold is replacing the final T sound with a kind of H sound, a kind of H. So it's not but it's buh, that kind of sound there. Now this is a really typical feature of the accent of Liverpool.
Oh, every game is important, but
he does it in other examples like these ones.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that, you know, going into the game, you know what kind of team they are. They wanna suck you into their way of playing. But we've stuck to what we're good at.
Okay, did you hear that? So we knew that kind of sound, so that. And then instead of at, we've got ah. So we've got buh, that, and ah. Very, very unique to Liverpool. You won't hear this sound anywhere else in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that, you know, going into the game, you know what kind of team they are. They wanna suck you into their way of playing. But we've stuck to what we're good at. If
you want examples of football players or former football players who speak with a Scouse accent, look no further than Jamie Carragher, Steven Gerrard and Wayne Rooney. Okay, let's move on to look at Manchester City star Jack Grealish's accent.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Been waiting a while.
Okay, Jack Grealish has such a distinct accent. Even though he plays for Manchester City, he's actually from Birmingham, so he speaks with a Brummie accent. Now, what we're going to look at today is his diphthong sounds, and particularly the A sound, which you hear on game, on day, on wait. However, he says it with a slightly different sound. So it's not A, it's I. So it'd be game and die and wait. That Brummie accent, die, game, wait. All right, my version isn't particularly accurate. Let's go back to Jack. Jack does it better than I do.
Been waiting a while, and yeah, you know, the past few days, past few weeks, I just couldn't wait for this game, obviously in particular.
All right, so you got that waiting a while.
Been waiting a while, and
what else do we have?
Couldn't wait for this game, obviously in particular.
I couldn't wait for the game, right? So you've got that I sound, that I instead of A. So there's definitely a diphthong change. Now, a diphthong is just 2 vowel sounds put together. So, as I say, with sort of received pronunciation, you might have game, day, wait, whereas in a Brummie accent, in Jack Grealish's accent, you've got die, game, wait. Now, it's really important to say here that there is, of course, no right or wrong accent. Everyone has their own accent. It's unique to them, and no one has a better accent or a worse accent. No, it's just an accent. It's a part of you. Now, accents tell us so much about someone. It could tell you where they are from. It could tell you their socioeconomic background. It could tell you their race, their age. There's so much going on in an accent, and as I say, everyone's accent is a little bit different. So this is Jack Grealish's accent. I personally love it. I think it's such a strong, rich accent, and it really tells us like he's from this part of the world, not from any other part of the world. He's from Birmingham. It really is a strong part of his identity. Let's move on to his fellow Manchester City teammate, Phil Foden?
Yeah, definitely. I thought we had a sloppy first half and let them get back into the game.
Okay, we've got Phil Foden here. He's from Stockport, which is in Greater Manchester. Now, the pronunciation feature that I want to focus on is the H sound, that sort of H, and actually the way he drops that sound quite often in his spoken English. Let's have a listen.
Yeah, definitely. I thought we had a sloppy first half and let them get back into the game.
Right, so first half, not half, right? Half. He's dropping that H.
But we got in at half time.
Okay, he does it again there. Half time, right? Not half time, half. So that H is gone. Now, what's interesting is that in this example, he does use the H sound.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. We looked a bit heavy.
So you see there, heavy. It doesn't say heavy, it's heavy. Okay, so sometimes he's using the H, sometimes he's dropping the H. Let's listen to a few more examples.
The manager wasn't happy, and I think we was much better in possession and hurt them a lot more in behind with the space. So
he's dropped the H on happy. Then in this example, he keeps the H on hurt, but then drops it in behind, so it's behind.
The manager wasn't happy, and I think we was much better in possession and hurt them a lot more in behind with the space. So
right, so even in one sentence, he's using the H and then dropping it. And this is absolutely crucial to understanding accents, is that the consistency of I always drop an H or I always use an H, it's not really true. It all depends on the moment. Now, because it's spontaneous speech, the sounds that we use might be different to how we normally speak. So I know, for example, when I speak, if I'm really thinking clearly about it, yeah, I'll probably say my H's, I'll say my T's. But if I'm reacting to something, then I might drop the H, I might drop the T. If I'm speaking in anger or excitement, possibly some sounds will change because there's emotion involved. So I think that's really important to understand, is that with someone's accent, you're not rigidly stuck to always saying certain words in certain ways. Actually, the reality is that we say the same word in different ways at different moments. And I think that's really important to remember. Okay, let's do one more Manchester City player. I promise it's not all Manchester City players. But this is Kyle Walker, who's from Sheffield in Yorkshire.
We knew it was going to be tough. Obviously, it's an FA Cup, as I know, growing up here.
Okay, so I've talked about this one before, but one of the clear defining features of a northern accent compared to a southern accent is the sound. Now, on the word tough there, Kyle Walker says it tough.
We knew it was going to be tough.
I say it tough, with that sound, because I'm from London, I'm from the south of England. But in the north of England, accents from Yorkshire, from Lancashire, further north, it's an sound. So he says tough.
Obviously, it's an FA Cup, as I know, growing up here.
Right, I would say cup and up. He says cup and up. An interesting feature, and definitely one that divides the north and the south. I have just released my brand new British English pronunciation online course. My first ever online course. I am so excited to share it with you. Now, I've been teaching for 15 years now, and I've put all of my knowledge about British English pronunciation into this course. There are 50 videos that are professionally crafted that take you through all the important things you need to know about British English pronunciation. We start off by looking at British accents and learning all about the differences. We then look at the anatomy of sound and how to make all the sounds of British English. We then move on to look at the 11 key sounds of modern RP. We then move on to connected speech, and we look at how proficient English speakers combine sounds and words to sound more fluent. This is a really important feature, and this is something that you need if you want to become a fluent English speaker. We then move on to look at stress and intonation and how proficient English speakers use that to change the meaning of words, to show emotion. There is so much involved in this module. Finally, we look at the differences between British English and American English pronunciation. There are so many differences, and this module really dives deep into the differences and helping you to identify not only what other people are saying, but maybe what you're saying, and are you speaking with British English or American English? Now, in each module there is a test video to assess how much you've learnt. There's also a PDF for every module with all the information you need, plus practice exercises. Now, the course comes in 2 packages. You have the standard course, which you get all the videos, all the PDFs, and a lifetime of access. So you'll have that forever, for as long as you want it. There's also the Super Dreamer package, and this is where you get access to a private online community. Now, the community lasts for 6 weeks. I will be on there posting daily content, plus you have access to live Q&As with me every week, and you'll have the chance to submit voice recordings to me so that I can help you improve as you go through the course. What an amazing offer that is. Guys, I can't wait to get going with this. So, the start date is Monday, the 15th of November, 2021. All right? Sign up is until Sunday, the 14th of November at 11:59 p.m. All right? As soon as it hits midnight, the course is closed. You can no longer sign up. So, you must sign up before then. So if you want to speak more fluently, if you want to be more confident and communicate more clearly with the people around you, whatever your motivation is, this is the course for you guys. If you want to learn more about this course, click that link as well. Go check it out, see what you think. Ask me any questions you need if you have any doubts, and I'll see you over there. Okay, let's swing down south to the capital, London, and we're going to listen to West Ham United's player, Mark Noble.
As you say, we stuck in, defended well, and inside got a lovely little goal at the end, which was fantastic.
Okay, Mark Noble is from the East End of London, Canning Town, and he speaks with a traditional Cockney accent. There are several features that we could look at in his accent, but the one I want to look at is that vocalised L sound, which I think is a classic Cockney feature. So on the word well, you can hear the way I'm saying it with a dark L, well. But when it's vocalised in a Cockney accent, it's well, right? Well. And that sound has changed to, the way I hear it is a kind of w sound. I mean, it's not technically that, but that's the way that I hear it. So it's well. That kind of broad sound, well, comes back, well. He also does it here, little, and go, right? It's not goal, it's go. So well, little, and go.
As you say, we stuck in, defended well, and inside got a lovely little goal at the end, which was fantastic.
Now, another player from London is Tottenham star Harry Kane. He speaks with an accent that has Cockney features, but also maybe other features too. We kind of call this estuary English. Now, as I say, it's really hard to define people's accents as one true thing. I think perhaps, in the case of Mark Noble, it's quite easy to say, okay, he speaks with a Cockney accent. Someone like Harry Kane, definitely Cockney features, has grown up in North East London, so has lots of influences of Cockney culture, but maybe there are other influences too. So let's listen to Harry Kane, how he speaks, and see if we can pick out some features as well.
No, I'm not sure. I think, obviously, City pressed well and made it difficult.
Okay, there's lots to look at in Harry Kane's accent. I think in a previous video, we looked at the glottal T and how he uses that. This time I want to look at something called TH fronting and how he uses the F sound instead of Th. So for example, instead of think, he says think, right? I think, obviously.
No, I'm not sure. I think, obviously, I feel like my game's been evolving over the last 3-4 years anyway.
He also said there, the last 3 or 4. The last 3 or 4, not 3 or 4. Now that's a feature that is used in lots of accents, in a Cockney accent, in the north, in some accents in the north as well. So yeah, that's a feature that's not just distinctive to London, it can be found across the country. Okay, let's switch across the North London divide from Tottenham to Arsenal and look at the accent of Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, it was much better. Saturday was disappointing for us, to be knocked out of the FA Cup.
Okay, Bukayo Saka speaks with something called multicultural London English. This is an accent that is relatively new. I've spoken about it a few times here on my channel. It's an accent that has lots of influences. So it has influences from Cockney, but then also influences from the immigrant groups that have come to London. So primarily the Caribbean community. So it's a real melting pot of an accent, lots of different pronunciation features, intonation and stress patterns. The feature that I want to look at here is also the TH. Now we looked at that with Harry Kane, with his TH fronting of F. instead of th. So Bukayo Saka does that, but he also does something else. Let's have a look.
The boss, he makes everything clear for me, and at the same time gives me the freedom to go and do what I want to do in the final third. So yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Okay, so he says the final third. All right, so that third is the same as, is similar to Harry Kane, how he would say it. So the final third, that F, that F sound. But when we get to the other TH sound, it's a bit different.
Game after game, we take it. I know everyone always says that, but we have to do that.
All right, so in that example, he says to do that. To do that.
But we have to do that.
So instead of that vocalized the sound, he's actually saying that. So do that. So that's a feature of an MLE accent for sure. It's a very common feature. But Bukayo Saka doesn't just leave it there. He doesn't just say a d on every sound that might be the. Actually, he switches it up. He changes it depending on the moment. Let's have a listen.
We got the victory that we deserved.
Okay, we got the victory that we deserve. So the, right? So he's using that the sound. So once again, this is an example of spontaneous speech and how our accents change depending on the moment. Other players that speak with an MLE accent include Emile Smith-Rowe, Wilfried Zaha, Jadon Sancho and Raheem Sterling. All right, we've got 2 more accents to go. Let's go back to Liverpool. Their left back, Andy Robertson.
From the corner, we could have probably defended it a bit better, and then.
Okay, as you might have been able to tell, Andy Robertson is from Scotland, specifically from Glasgow. He speaks with a really great, quite strong Glaswegian accent. Now, the feature that I want to look at is the I sound that changes to a kind of eh sound. So listen to this example.
From the corner, we could have probably defended it a bit better, and then.
Right. So on bit, as I would say it, bit, he's saying bat, right? It's a kind of eh sound. So a bat, batter, right? A bat, batter. Again, not a great example. I apologise. Let's go back to Andy Robertson. He does it better.
Probably defended it a bit better. And
okay, I've got so many examples of this. Here with think, it's thank.
It was up to us to try and keep the 3 points for the last 10 minutes, and I think we've done that pretty well.
Thank, that sound. It's a very subtle sound. Thank, and then instead of pretty, pretty.
It was up to us to try and keep the 3 points for the last 10 minutes, and I think we've done that pretty well.
I think pretty well. I'm sorry to anyone from Scotland. My accent, I know, is terrible. I know. All right. Forgive me.
It's you get an important 3 points, but today you went ugly.
Okay, I got more examples. You won, right? Not win, won.
Today, you went ugly.
Okay, let's go back down south. We're going to go to the Everton goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford.
I don't know. I think attitude. Working as a team.
Okay, Jordan Pickford is from Sunderland and speaks with a Mackem accent. This is in the northeast of England. It's a very distinct accent. Again, I can't really do it. I won't even try to do the impression of him. In this example, what we have here is a glottalized k sound. Now, we've heard about a glottalized T, right? Water, better, butter. But here he's glottalizing the k, which is also possible. He says working, right? Instead of working, k, it's glottalized. So he's kind of swallowing the sound. It's kind of staying just here in the throat. Working. And this is a feature of a Mackem accent. In fact, a few accents in the northeast of England.
I don't know. I think attitude. Working as a team.
If you would like me to do the accents of non-British football players in the Premier League, then leave me a comment below, all right? So tell me below whose accent you'd like me to feature in that video. Also, guys, remember to check out my online course. The link is in the description below. Until next time, this is Teacher Tom, the Chief Dreamer, saying goodbye.